Most providers really don't understand their medical malpractice insurance, except that you need it, right? And it's super normal to feel that way. No one teaches you what the terms mean or how to protect yourself, but one simple mistake can cost you tens of thousands of dollars down the road. So today I'm going to break down the 3 things you must understand about medical malpractice insurance before you sign anything. Let's start with the basics. What medical malpractice insurance actually is. Malpractice coverage protects you if a patient claims you caused any harm or didn't provide the care properly. That could be anything from complications, a misdiagnosis, to something totally unexpected. I like to tell my doctors it isn't a matter of if it ever happens, it's more a matter of when. Now, ChatGPT says roughly 34% of physicians will have at least one medical malpractice claim against them in their career. And here's the part that a lot of physicians don't realize. It doesn't just cover payout. It also covers the cost of your legal defense, attorneys, expert witnesses, court fees, plus any settlements or judgments if the case doesn't go your way. The legal costs alone can be 6 figures easily. So this isn't optional. You need medical malpractice coverage for your medical license, hospital privileges, credentialing, and almost every employment agreement that you'll ever have. And it's not just physicians, it's nurse practitioners, PAs, and even med spa owners who offer medical services. They need the malpractice insurance coverage too. If you're touching patients, prescribing, injecting, lasering, diagnosing, you need to be covered. So think of malpractice insurance as your financial shield. You hope you never need it, but you absolutely never want to be without it. Now let's talk about one of the most confusing parts of malpractice insurance. There's 2 types of policies, occurrence and claims made. I'm going to break this down simple because once you get it, everything else makes sense. So let's start with occurrence coverage. Occurrence means if the incident happened during the time you were covered, you're protected, no matter when the patient files the claim. So even if somebody files the lawsuit 5 years later, so as long as the event happened while you had occurrence coverage, then you were covered. It's typically more expensive up front, but it's the easiest to manage long term. And you never have to worry about buying tail coverage or gap insurance and protection. It's kind of like a set it and forget it. And a lot of physicians like it for a peace of mind. Now let's talk about claims made policies. Claims made policies only protect you if the claim is filed while your policy is active. So timing matters a lot more here. The reason many physicians choose claims made is because it's cheaper in the earlier years, which is great for new grads or people just starting out in private practice and have a low budget. But here's the part that a lot of people forget. If you cancel that policy or switch jobs, you need to purchase tail coverage. Tail is an extra policy that keeps covering you for any claims made after you leave. And depending on your specialty, tail can cost anywhere from 1 to 2 times your annual premium. So here's a quick way to remember this. Occurrence equals covered because it occurred during the policy. Claims made equals coverage because it was claimed during the policy. If you want a quick comparison, occurrence gives you simplicity and long-term peace of mind. Claims made coverage is cheaper up front but requires more planning down the road, especially when you change jobs. Now, we're going to talk about how you decide which one makes sense for your specialty and your career path. And coming up next, the single clause that could leave you paying $30,000 out of pocket when you leave a job. Now let's break down tail coverage. It's one of the biggest surprises in medical malpractice insurance. So if you're on a claims-made policy, you need tail coverage when you leave a job. It only protects you if the claim is filed while the policy is active. Once you cancel it, you lose protection for anything that happened in the past. So tail coverage fills the gap. It covers incidents that occurred while you were insured, but are reported after you left. And because patients can file claims years later, skipping tail isn't worth the risk. Here's the hard part. Tail coverage usually costs 1.5 to 2.5 times your actual premium, and it's due up front. That's why you should always try to negotiate tail coverage in your employment contract. Some employees will cover it all. Some employees won't cover it at all. Some might cover a little bit. The bottom line is, if you're on a claims-made policy, plan for tail coverage or negotiate your way out of paying it. And here's something else that most physicians don't know about medical malpractice insurance. Going through a broker can actually save you time, money, and headaches. A broker isn't tied to just one company. They represent multiple carriers. This means they can compare rates side by side, look at the fine print, and spot exclusions, and even negotiate better terms for you. They'll also catch things that you might miss, like gap insurance coverage or risks hiding in your policy. And here's the part that surprises most doctors. In many cases, the insurance company pays the broker, not you, so you get expert advice and help without the bill. Brokers are especially helpful if you're a solo practice owner or transitioning into self-employment and you're not sure if you're picking the right policy. It's one of the small decisions that can make a big difference in your practice and your protection and give you peace of mind. And finally, before you sign any malpractice insurance, policy, or employment contract, here's a quick checklist to protect yourself. First, ask what kind of policy it is, claims made or occurrence. That one question determines everything else. Next, find out if tail coverage is required. And most important, who pays for it? This is where physicians get surprised. Ask whether the policy can follow you if you switch jobs or move to another state. Some can, and some absolutely cannot. Next, check your coverage limits. Most commonly, you'll see things like $1 million per claim, $3 million per year, but that varies on specialty and location. Then look for exclusions. Are certain procedures, lasers, injections, telemed, or off-site locations excluded unless you add them? And finally, ask about discounts, new grads, group rates, risk management courses. Even paying annually can help save you money. If you run through this checklist before signing, you'll avoid most of the expensive surprises physicians run into. Medical malpractice isn't just a box to check. It's something that can impact you for years to come if it's not set up right. And if you're thinking about what's next in your career, whether it's private practice or staying as an employed hospital physician or making a transition, this is just one piece of the puzzle. So check out our next video on private practice versus hospital employment. It'll help you weigh your options and figure out what actually fits your goals and your lifestyle. I'll see you in the next video.